This is the Lunatics Legends podcast. We got some big news. We did some things with the podcast studio. Super excited about. Branden, hit me with that fifth camera.
There it is.
Love that. We got the wide angle shot in here now. It's going to help you with editing, which is awesome for when we're all jaw jacking at the same time.
Very excited about that.
Yes, sir. We finally got rid of the TV. Hit it with the fifth.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So today, I don't know how to refer to these certain German folks of the Germanish.
What did they have? Was this like mucus, or like they had a lot of boogers, or they shaved in the middle? They shaved
Opposite.
more on the sides.
Yeah, it was.
They had this going on like this.
Yeah, and they were not A's.
Oh.
They were not B's.
Oh, they were C's.
They were not
C's.
C's.
Got it.
That is correct.
Yeah, all right.
And, dude, I've just been deep diving, going down a rabbit hole. It started because I was watching somebody's video about Heinrich Himmler and all of the crazy, like, esoteric journeys he went on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching it and enjoying it, finding out that he was, like, going after the Holy Grail, and he was going after, like, the Spear of Destiny and the Ark of the Covenant, and it was crazy to me, and it sent me into a tailspin of going down these rabbit holes. So I learned a lot about those people that are not
A's or B's.
Yes. I don't know how we refer to them. Goose steppers? Should we just use that?
Sure.
Okay. So I learned a lot about the goose steppers over the course of last week. And it's things that, like, I learned it in history and in high school and such, and a little bit in college. And I knew a little bit. However, I didn't know nearly what I know now. And it's wild.
They leave a lot out in school.
Yeah.
Most of it. I would
Right.
say roughly
Right.
99.8% of it gets left out.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a thought that we would go down this rabbit hole, and then at the end I would, like, leave a little bit of a teaser, what if, and lead into that. However, I'd rather just dive into it, because now there's so much more that it's like we can just do this whole thing and have the groundwork set by starting with my conspiracy theory. Okay, so the whole purpose of Heinrich Himmler wanting to go after the Ark of the Covenant, the Spear of Destiny, and the Holy Grail is because the Holy Grail supposedly will keep you alive and you'll become immortal, right?
Yeah. I saw, what was that Indiana Jones movie?
Right.
Which one was it?
I don't know.
Oh, was Sean Connery? No?
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
However, and they, like, melt and they're...
No, that was the first one. No, and the third one, they're actually looking for the Holy Grail.
Oh.
And they find it.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry. Spoiler alert. They find it.
I did all this research, but you could have just been like, hey, just go watch Indiana Jones.
They know exactly where it is, actually.
Rock the trilogy, and you'll...
Yeah.
Was there 3?
So as far as I'm concerned, yes, there were 3.
Okay.
But if you were to look in the Wikipedias, there's a couple later that...
All right.
Yeah, so we don't have to do that, though.
Just cut the cameras. We'll start over. I'm going to go spend the rest of the day watching Indiana Jones so that I'm fully spun up on it. Anyway, the whole point that I was getting at is that supposedly if you find the Holy Grail, you become immortal. If you find the Spear of Destiny, you will not lose a battle. And there's, like, the Book of Power. There's a bunch of different things that, like, Heinrich Himmler was putting people in charge of going after, right? So if you were to find the Holy Grail, You'd be immortal, right? Again, if you were to find the spear of destiny, I keep fighting the urge to say pick a destiny, but if you find the spear of destiny, then you won't lose battles. Okay. All that being said, let's say you are the leader of these not A's, not B's, these goose steppers, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you did find it? Do you just go after world domination? Because you've done some atrocities, right? So people are constantly going to want to come after you and end you. You will have an uprising in the people constantly.
I mean, they had that anyways.
Right. But my point is, let's say, what if, say, for example, they did find it.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being like, we found it, now let's take over the world. Instead, they go, better idea. Why don't we act like we lost, but we still have it? And then we become the shadow people. We become the puppet string pullers. What if that was the thing? What would that look like, right?
Probably a lot like the United States of America.
What? Why would you say such a thing?
I don't know. That was so weird of me. I don't
like. You could. There's no way that you could bury all of the companies that helped you, right? Like the people, like these companies that had to have gone under after the atrocities that they were directly a part of, right? Like
companies like Porsche, Audi, Siemens, Kodak, like companies like those.
Chase Bank, Adidas, Pumas, because they were brothers.
Huh.
I mean, there's
they wouldn't survive after they would be shut down, right?
Right. And like you and all of your people, because you're so recognizable, you'd have to go somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't just be in Germany anymore because they would know, right? But like, where would you go?
I don't. Maybe a continent that no one else is allowed to go.
What do you mean?
Well, there's 7 continents, right?
Yeah.
But
I think.
But only 6 of them are inhabited. I feel like 6 of them are inhabited. And if you want to go to the other one, you have to get permission to do it.
Yeah, but you're not allowed there.
Yeah. So you go there to go to a laboratory if you're permitted to go there.
But it's all ice. You can't go there.
Yeah, that's weird.
You're not allowed there.
How does that work, I wonder?
I don't know. But like you would also, because you don't want to be in the cold, because that's just a big sheet of ice. I think Antarctica,
well,
right?
I mean, do you remember there's this guy in the military called Admiral Byrd? Do you remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He flew over. He didn't seem to think it was all ice.
Yeah. But let's say you don't want to be in a cold climate, right?
Sure.
Like somebody would have to know that if you like went to, I don't know, someplace, Argentina, something like that, maybe Venezuela.
Yeah.
But like then you would have to like literally block off the road.
Right,
into your area.
So
right?
If you're going to get shipments into those areas, you would have to like have, blockades and maybe like, kind of cross-load trucks of goods.
Right.
Huh.
But I mean, like, but there would be a bunch of German people there, right? Like it would probably have a German name and.
Right. And then there would be a lot of, I suppose every now and again, some of the Germans would probably, they'd probably kind of every now and again get out of those little towns, right? And then they'd probably go fraternize with the locals and create some of the most German-looking South Americans.
Right, but there's no stories about that.
There's not. I feel like there's a lot of them on social media.
What?
Yeah, it's almost like yeah. But it's probably just AI. It's
AI.
It's AI. Yeah.
Phooey, But there's all that, right? And then then people would question the body, right? Like of the man with the
Oh,
mustache.
the one that went to it was Russia. It was shipped to Russia.
Was it?
Wasn't it?
He was in a bunker with his girlfriend.
Yeah, and didn't the Russians find him? I thought.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
Because I got there first, right?
Right. But I mean that doesn't make sense.
I mean, it looks good on paper. I believe it. My government told me.
But where would all of your scientists go?
Well, I mean, you'd think that because they were doing pretty naughty stuff.
Yeah.
Not pretty Nazi stuff.
They
would be.
Oh, they went on trial.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and then they would have all been probably, they would spend the rest of their lives in jail.
Right.
Yeah.
Because no country would take them.
No.
Right. Especially a country that, was like their enemy, right? Aside from like GM and Ford and Chase Bank and IBM and all these American companies that were
funding
doing all of those things,
a lot of those
right?
forced labor camps. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess America not a friend of the show.
No, America's a friend of the show.
Oh, okay, America is all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The American people.
So most of them?
Yeah, except for the Instagram folks.
Yeah. Except for Instagram.
However, I'm just saying, I think it would be wild. Like, so let's just put our conspiracy theory hats on for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's just create a little imagination cap, right? Let's put that on.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Made out of tinfoil.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a tick. Branden, This is crazy. Here's the crazy thing. Wait. No, I need you to wait. Branden, wait.
Sorry.
All of those things happened. All of those things are what's going on. All of those scientists, they all went to work for NASA. All of a sudden, the United States ends up releasing that we have the flying wing, the B-2 bomber, like stealth beyond our years. What? Venezuela? What? Argentina? With these Germany, mini Germanys right in the middle of their country. You're not allowed to go to Antarctica. Why? Because of the ice? They don't want you to mess with the ice. All of the things. Oh, hey, by the way, I need to look it up so that I don't get roasted in the comments, but
You will anyways.
yep, 1933. The Nazis had an agreement with the Zionists.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was an agreement to have the Jewish people leave Germany for a little place called Palestine. That was the thing.
So, I'm sorry, the name of that agreement was what?
The Havara Agreement. Right here, Wikipedia says the Havara Agreement was an agreement between Nazi Germany and Zionist organizations signed on the 25th of August, 1933. The agreement was finalized after 3 months of talks by Zionist Federation of Germany and the Anglo-Palestine Bank and the economic authorities of Nazi Germany. The whole thing is there, right? All of a sudden, after that, the Zionist movement happens in Palestine. The state of Israel is created after the atrocities happened from the people that they were just signing agreements with in 1933.
I feel like that particular regime signed a lot of agreements and didn't really follow through with them. Kind of just did what they wanted anyways. In fact, if I remember correctly, pretty much every time they signed an agreement, that was the next target.
Huh. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. I'm just saying, there was a lot of crazy things that happened in that time. And it just doesn't seem to be that things are adding up. And here we are 70, 80 years later. And we're on a podcast going, but what if the official narrative was bullshit? Because, I mean, growing up, dude, American history. And look, I love my country. I've served my country. I am a proud, patriotic American. But growing up, I was always told that it was the United States that won World War II, that we were the reason that World War II ended, right? It wasn't until I got older and actually studied it and was like, wait a minute. As much as I hate commies, the filthy Reds were the ones that won that war. We just kind of showed up at the tail end and we're like, yeah, back-to-back world champs. We did it again, boys. Let's go home and eat some hamburgers. But that's not the case.
I think you're diminishing the amount of effort that the U.S. put into it, but I won't disagree with you that really it was...
I'm not. What I am saying is that we have diminished the amount of effort that the filthy Reds put into it.
Oh, entirely. I don't disagree with that.
I'm just saying, I always thought in school that, like, no, Japan done messed up and we got involved and we just cleaned everybody's clocks. And it's like, well, no, the Russians did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Sure. And Hitler didn't have to go into Russia in the winter like he did. But nonetheless, I think every country does that, though, right? They aggrandize themselves. I mean, I have friends that went through the school system in Canada in the 90s, and according to Canada, D-Day was pretty much won single-handedly by Canada. So it just... yeah, I know. It's just pretty fantastic listening to them talk about it. And they knew they weren't stupid. They knew
right.
that was pretty ridiculous. But that's
there
the way
we were riding our mooses on the beach.
The way that it was presented to them in school is that was pretty much without Canada that would have never happened. And I think
hey
that's
there,
fantastic.
bud. Hey there, bud. What's all this about? Huh?
Yep.
You got a problem with the Jews?
So ultimately, yeah, I mean, every country does that with every conflict that they're in, is that they're winning, they won. If whoever was doing things right and we're on the side of good and God and all these things, then there's this aggrandization that happens, within the way that they write their history, and the whole idea of like, well, you know, the victors, they're the ones who write history. It's like, yeah, right. Okay, well, countries that lose also write their own history. That happens too. And I'm pretty sure there's some factions in Cambodia that feel differently about the outcome of that circumstance. Nonetheless,
I agree. I think it is wild to now, from an adult eyes, and we live in the craziest time where, like, never before in history has there been this much information that could be searched up by any person, right? Like, it used to be that if you wanted to know something, you had to go find a library, find the book, find the chapter, and read until you found it. And now you're just like, tip tap was Saddam Hussein left or right-handed? Like,
yeah, right. With that, though, that access to information that we have now also comes access to
disinformation.
Yeah, or misinformation. I can never remember which one's which. So, which also makes it even more fun, because then the conspiracies get even deeper, because now we have so much more information, but we don't know what's just made up and what actually makes sense, what actually happened. We know more of what we think happened or what's speculated to have happened.
Sure.
But we don't actually have more access. I mean, we still don't know who shot JFK.
I mean, you don't.
No.
I know.
All right. Do you want to tell everybody?
Not particularly.
No.
All right. Sure, it's speculative. I'm only speculating, you know?
Speculating the grassy knoll.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple different theories, you know?
There's a few, yeah.
I don't think that some filthy commie sympathizer was hanging out in a book depository.
No, suppository. Let's go with that.
That was a little throwback to Full Metal Jacket. But no, I don't believe that some, filthy commie sympathizer was hanging out with a trash Carcano rifle from hundreds of yards away at a funny angle. I don't believe that's what happened. I just don't. Right.
I don't think anybody believes that that's what happened.
I think people don't believe a lot of the official story of anything either.
The amount of distrust that everyone has in the government and should have, rightfully so. Yeah. There is no reason to trust a single regime that has come through the White House.
Right. Ever. And that's kind of the crazy thing too, is like, I don't know, man, there's just so much gross things, and I feel lost anymore. Like, I'm in a headspace of it's just like, look, everything I've learned is bullshit. Mm-hmm. I don't trust any of it anymore because it is all bullshit. And like, people are so polarized now. And people like, dude, there's just so much shit. And I know we shouldn't talk about necessarily current affairs because, it doesn't age well. And I want people to watch this video in 20 years and be like, holy shit, Eddie called it. The Nazi, those goose steppers, they found the Ark of the Covenant. They found the Holy Grail. He called it, right? However, let's talk about some current affairs real quick. All that aside, I mean, dude, Fauci is in Congress just pleading the fifth and getting away with it. Like, how are there not freaking lynch mobs? For real. How many people died because of that, dude?
Yeah.
Like, for real. And there's still people fucking for him on the internet.
I was just going to say, it's pretty unbelievable the amount of people. And I don't know, maybe they're just bots. Maybe they're not actual accounts, but they sure look like actual accounts. You can go through and see family photos and all this stuff. There's people that are 100% behind him. Like, this guy's awesome somehow. And I don't care what side of the fence you think you're on. There is no reason for anybody to think that this guy did anything but absolutely take advantage of the situation. He made a fortune.
Right.
He made a fortune off the pandemic,
right,
off of people dying. He created this with the Obama administration. If you want to argue that Obama knew about it, fine, whatever. That's beside the point. He created this. We paid for it. And then he made a fortune off of it. It's inarguable.
Here's a little story, right? Because I don't like second, third hand stories.
Sure.
Okay.
So give me a fourth hand story.
So here's a second hand story.
Got it.
I had a friend that I went to high school with, right? He got sick. And he died of the Rona. Okay. He was sick for 8 months. 8 months, supposedly, he had the Rona, and then he passed. Okay. Bullshit. The whole time that mask mandate and all the fucking the garbage that was going on. Mm-hmm. I almost want to cut this because I said the F word, but I'm fired up, right? Mm-hmm. But the whole time that this garbage was going on, I refused to put on a mask. I got cussed out. Mm-hmm. I got told what a scumbag I was, that I'm killing the elderly. And at the point where somebody tells you, like, you're killing the elderly and babies, how dare you? Like, you're in a weird time. You're in a weird time, right? And I just ignored it. And I had medical paperwork said I'm not to be wearing masks. And I was thrown out of a couple of different hospitals. I was denied surgeries that I needed, right? Because I was not going to put a mask on. And there are people that blindly follow. Oh, go to Dr. Fauci, put the mask on. And I'm going, what is that going to do? What is it going to do? It's not going to do anything. But you need an N95 mask. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you're breathing air near them, period.
Which everyone knows now. I mean, there was in such great debate because nobody knew anything about that. Your average person had no idea how a mask worked, the types of masks they were talking about. It seemed super simple. Some people still don't get it.
Right. The guys that are still cocking for Fauci. But like, I should stop using that word too. The algorithms don't like it. You're going to backwards that one for me?
Yeah.
Thanks. The funny thing is, though, is the way that it sounds might be reversed the same. Anyway. Yeah, like I did the math. That's all I had to do, right? I sat down one day and I went, wait a minute. They're saying that this has a such and such mortality rate. Okay, now let's look at the actual numbers. And I took LA County, being, I believe, the biggest county in the country, and I went, here are the rates that they're showing that people have passed. Here are the rates of people in the county. It all of a sudden didn't have a solid percentage of mortality. It was like 0.000043 or something along those lines. And I posted something about that on Facebook. And the hatred and vitriol that came back to me in the comment section was wild as could be. And I mean like family members just straight cussing me out. I'm being so polite right now because I don't want to say a bunch of words on the podcast. But hot take, it is what it is. I just ran the numbers. That's it. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. The common cold kills way more people, or it was flu.
Yeah,
Flu kills
influenza, yeah.
way more people than the Rona did, or was at the time, right? And again, like I got called anything but a decent person because of those statements. And it is what it is. I don't care. But we are in such a time of distrust. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And I get like why people on both sides are rallying behind their people and going, oh, they're the next savior, and all the subculture and the camaraderie that gets built around being so bipolar, that too, bipartisan, not bipartisan, good God, polarized is the word I'm looking for. But all of that, people just want to feel accepted, right? And like, it's just wild to me. And they put so much stock into that and make their identity everything about that. And then those people let them down too. And they feel disenfranchised because their last great hope, their last Hail Mary pass for not feeling like an outsider, an outcast, is a complete crock of shit as well.
Yeah, Fauci's track record has literally been 100% wrong all the way back to AIDS back in the 80s. His numbers, you can just go back and, people go do your own homework.
Yeah.
Every single pandemic that he wanted to promote and stir up fear with, his numbers were so wildly incorrect. They were so far off every single time. He's not ever once been right, and he's not ever once been even close.
No.
It's just crazy. The guy is... I mean, who is more corrupt than Anthony Fauci other than, I don't know, a Clinton? Right? Like it's
I
at least publicly
they're linked.
You've got Hillary Clinton and Fauci, and I'd probably Trump right up there with him. Just corrupt, gross people.
Yeah. Yeah. And the crazy thing is that before you would wait 4 to 8 years, right? You would go, this person sucks, mm-hmm. and my person is better.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd have 4 to 8 years and you just stay quiet, right? While your person's in office doing the gross shit. And then they go, look at what you wanted, you stupid. And then you wait the 8 years, the whole time being critical, right?
Yeah.
But we can't even do that anymore. Like, I guarantee you the left for 4 years was just going, oh, I can't possibly double down on this, right? Like, I have to just shut up for 4 years while this is going on. Oh, this is so bad. And then now the right is doing the same thing.
I think
we
they
haven't
should be doing
released
that.
the files.
But I don't think anybody's actually doing that. I mean, everybody that's been hard up on the left during the Biden administration, they're still waving those flags, and everybody that's hard on the right still thinks that that the Trump administration is awesome and amazing somehow. I don't know anybody that I haven't had conversations with anybody that's expressing what you just expressed.
I'm saying I think that they're doubling down, but I don't think their internal monologue is saying that at all.
See, I disagree. I think that these people are so bought into it. I mean, they just going to California to visit friends and listening to people talk. These people are hard. They're so deep into the paint on how awesome and correct everything about the Democrats is right now. There's the brainwashing is unbelievable because there's nothing that party can do incorrectly. And I would say that
I just don't buy it. I think it's ego.
I think you're in a bubble right now, bud. Yeah.
I don't. I think that it's like,
I think it's just as toxic for the Trumpers. Like all of these people the amount of people that still believe that he's awesome and doing a great job is unbelievable to me. He's doing a horrible job.
Right.
This is awful.
And sure, perhaps I'm the outlier. Like between him and Kamala, like,
right.
What?
Seriously? Do I have to choose?
Right.
Do I really?
Right.
Like this is what you guys are doing?
Boy, did South Park nail it years before of the what was it, the turd sandwich or the giant douche? Like, you know.
Yep.
But like seriously, you know, I just went like, well, look, I love guns and capitalism, and I guess this is who I'm voting for. And granted, like, I don't see myself voting for Kamala ever, right? But like, damn, dude, seriously? You're going to make me feel that gross about voting for you? Like, I can see where the world is so damn disenfranchised, or at least America is so disenfranchised right now. But like, I genuinely think, because like, look, dude, if we were talking about all the Nazi, I read the word.
The Nazi.
Let's not say their name. Let's not say their name. Not see their name. The not sayers. All the companies that supported those not sayers, they, you know, like, let's say you're heavily invested in that, right? Mm-hmm. You are wearing Porsche t-shirts. You love the brand. You wear the Adidas, whichever company you want to say, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, all right, yeah, we kind of used like slave labor from, you know, camps for concentration, you know, that they kind of built our brand. Whoops-a-dinkles. Nuremberg trials. We don't look good, right? All of a sudden, are you going to be like, well, I never liked Porsche. I didn't wear that shirt every day. No. Drive that hunk of crap? No, I bought it so that a not sayer couldn't buy it. Like, no. You're going to be like, stop, dude. It's a piece of phenomenal German engineering. Like, I love that car. It's the car. It's not the brand that I love. Like, no, dude,
I don't know if that's apples to apples, because that's so far detached now. So many people have no idea that Porsche actually designed
but I'm saying the
bug, and that it was VW that built it. Everybody thinks that that's strictly a VW thing. It was actually Porsche that designed it. So I think that the amount of
people's car.
So I think with a lot of these brands, people today don't even know. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I knew some of these things, but I didn't know as many as I do now because I hadn't really done any homework. I do some homework. It's like, wow. After 15 minutes, it's like, holy crap. All of these companies all were tied directly to and in support of and used slave labor. And now all these companies are some of the biggest companies in the world. Like, it's crazy, but people just don't know.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is, like, let's not name a brand, but just picture your favorite band, right?
Adidas.
No, that's part of it.
Oh.
Don't name. Think of your favorite band, right?
Puma.
Just stop talking. That's all I'm asking from you right now. But if you silently think of your favorite band,
Chase Bank,
not brand, and you're wearing their t-shirts and you're a huge fan of them, and you're just like, you got the tattoo and the things, all the things, the posters, and you've seen them so many times. You've gone to events with so many people that just love that same thing, and you are part of the culture. Okay, let's do it. There's a band that wears clown makeup, right? And there's like a subculture of people that follow that band, right? They juggle. Stop playing stupid.
You talking about Kodak? This is too much fun.
So you are heavily invested. Your identity is heavily invested into this band, right? You have all this subculture around it, right? And then all of a sudden, and this didn't happen, but let's say this band that wears clown makeup, they get caught for some heinous crimes, or it's speculated or assumed, whatever. They do a terrible job about something, like administrations, right? You're not going to get the tattoo removed. You're not going to tear down all the posters and, I hate you now. No, you're going to double down on it, and you're not going to act as though it ever affected. Yeah, right. They didn't do it. They didn't. You know who did it? The people who don't wear clown makeup.
I mean, I feel like you're going to have a pretty safe mix of people that would absolutely be like, oh, abandoned ship. And then other people that, because we have that definitively in just about everything. Anything that's controversial, you have people that are the diehards, no matter what happens, no matter what evidence is put in front of them. No way they're going to believe it. It's a conspiracy. And then you have the other people that go, whoa, that's the most damning evidence I've ever seen. I had no idea. I'm out.
And that's currently where we are. That's what I'm saying. Is that you have these people that like are so wrapped up in the identity of it that they would never admit that they're wrong. But you said that we don't have people that are backing away from their political ideology. Yes. And we do have people that are backing away from the ideology.
I'm absolutely not saying that.
Are we going to have to pause this podcast so you can go back and hear yourself say it?
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to pause it. I'll go back and look. 100%.
Cut.
No, what you were saying earlier is that that everybody that's on a side would never, no matter what, they're going to pretend like they don't notice it. And I'm saying, yeah, there are those people, but I would say definitively also those people, even if they're drinking the Kool-Aid, they're drinking the Kool-Aid. For you, you're saying they're drinking the Kool-Aid, but they know the Kool-Aid tastes like shit. And I'm saying, no, I think that most of the people that are drinking the Kool-Aid on both sides are fully drinking the Kool-Aid and believing it. And then the people that aren't are in the middle going, hey, no, this is too crazy. Like, I don't think that, and I don't think that. But anybody drinking the Kool-Aid these days tends, like, my experience is that they're not pretending to drink the Kool-Aid. They're all in. And having spent so much time the last 15 years traveling in an industry with people where everyone is a hardcore liberal and they're all right about everything all the time, like there's not enough Kool-Aid for those people.
Well, it's just like, I'm pretty sure that, I mean, your favorite,
which one?
Journalist of all time.
Oh, TC?
Yeah.
I heard he would beat my ass.
He would.
He's known for his fighting.
Yeah. Even Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, like they're pulling chalks, dude. Mm-hmm. And like you see a lot of these people that were very much on the side of the MAGA movement, like are like, nope, no thanks. Mm-hmm. And I think that they're doing a lot of that now, right? They're doing a lot of backing out now because of the fact that they're seeing that things aren't working.
I think ultimately we just have two very different experiences with this because, like I just said, with mine, having traveled around the world with the music industry for so many years and just hearing how hardcore these people are for this extreme liberal ideology, these people have no shame over what they think or why, and there's no conversation to be had. They are right about all of these things, and that's the end. And your experience has been different. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have to be right about this. We're just sharing experiences.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just in a headspace where like I just
like, how could anybody be so stupid to think that either one of these parties is just the right, awesome, perfect party? It's just two different brands of disgusting evil. And it's crazy because we talked about this too previously, is that it doesn't matter which regime is holding the White House. The same shit happens anyways.
Yeah.
All the prices of food and gas and everyday goods, all that stuff continues to go up. Inflation continues to go up. The value of the dollar continues to go down. Wars that are totally needless continue to happen. Americans go to other places in the world that they shouldn't be and die so that we can continue to pay more and have less. It doesn't change because of one regime or the other.
I think I'm pretty well speaking for a majority of Americans when I say like, we're just tired of it, man. And release the goddamn files. Like, release them. What are you doing, bud? What are you doing, Cheeto? Orange man bad? Like, release the damn files. Knock it off. I don't give a shit how many of your buddies are in there. Because I voted for this. Mm-hmm. I voted for him in the last election. And, like, I'm furious. Release the damn files. I'm furious, right? I'm just sick of it. And every time that we start talking politics, dude, I've been an elected official. I've been in politics. I've seen the gross side of it. And I walked away from it, okay? And I have my views. I always err on the side of freedom so long as it's amongst consenting adults. It's the only thing I care about. Past that, I don't give a shit. Slam whatever you want into whatever you want. I don't care. Whether that be...
I think you could leave that one alone right there.
Yeah. Slam whatever you want into whatever you want. So long as it's amongst consenting adults. So long as there are not people that are incapable of making that decision. Okay? And their decision is heard and understood and respected, right? Past that, I don't give a shit what you do. But every time we start getting into politics, I start getting pissed off because I'm just so disenfranchised like most Americans right now. I'm tired of not seeing my dollar buy what it used to buy. I'm just fed up with it. And I'm like a lot of Americans, I'm a business owner. I'm sick of this shit. Do better.
I think that is one piece of common ground that just about every American has right now, is that everybody's fed up with all of it.
We're not fed up with all of it. We're fed up with the damn government. Left or right. Left or right.
Call it government, call it all of it. Day-to-day life has been affected so negatively in just about every way. Everybody's tired of it. And to my point earlier, it doesn't matter what regime is ruling the country in the moment. The results are the same. The regression is the same. Everybody's fed up with it. That is the only common ground that we have right now.
Yeah. Let's move on to something else because it seems like
I really want to stay here with you. Stay here with me right now.
I'm going to throw this pen through your stupid freaking ugly glasses.
These are the best glasses.
Do better, government. Do better.
Well,
bad government.
Naughty. Shame on you.
What was that? Life Aquatica? Where he's like,
Life Aquatic, yeah.
What's your dog's name? Cody? Be still, Cody. Such a good scene.
That movie's fantastically underrated. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I love Wes Anderson movies.
I don't want to talk about Wes Anderson movies right now on the podcast.
All right. Well,
I don't know, man. Now I feel like my energy's drained because I got pissed off and I'm over it.
what's the name of that band that's playing down here in Arizona that's your favorite ever?
You're talking about Brand New.
Brand New. It's an old band.
In fact, yeah, they are. In fact, I wore one of their old T-shirts during the Raul Mendez interview. I was wearing a Brand New T-shirt.
Oh, nice.
That's how I can tell when I go to the comment section because somebody commented on the video or liked it or shared it or whatever. Immediately I see the Brand New and I'm like, yeah, it's Raul's video. But yeah, no, I've listened to that band since I was like 17, 18, something like that. And yeah, I think they are one of the most underrated bands of all time. And I will argue till the bitter end that The Devil and God Are Raging Inside of Me is, I'd say, in the top 10 best rock albums that has been created in 50 years.
I also like a lot of terrible music and will die on the hill that these awful songs are the best ever written.
Okay.
I hear you. I hear you, pal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
You have my support.
Thanks. It means
feel
so
like
much.
Not enough people admit that they like bad music. They're like, this song's the best. This band's the best. Like, yeah, cool. For you it is. And that's great. I like awful music too.
It's definitely not awful music. And I would say that I can see where there's an emotional attachment to each album because each album that came out was like a very specific time in my life that was fantastic and or very hard, right? And it's funny because each one of those albums is like the soundtrack for that time frame for me, right? Like when their first album came out, your own favorite weapon, it was very much like a poppy punk emo album, right? And that was the feel for the time. And I'm just like, I was in bands and we were having a great time. And then Deja and Tadu came out and I was like, damn, yeah, no, I'm really feeling like more complex emotions and wow, like it represents that time. And then there was The Devil and God Are Raging Inside of Me, unless you want to consider the album that they had stolen from them and bootlegged and almost bankrupted the entire band, which is The Devil and God Are Raging Inside of Me. I'm sorry, Fight Off Your Demons. They took what they could from that album and they ended up creating The Devil and God Are Raging Inside of Me. If you could stay awake for this, I'd appreciate it.
I'm doing my best.
I appreciate it.
I got you, bud.
And then Daisy came out and everybody, I shouldn't say that. I'm speaking in blanket statements, but a lot of their old school fans hated it. But they, even before it came out, they were doing interviews where they were like, look, we put together an album that was just what we would play if we were just hanging out jamming. And this is not your typical brand new album. And it was a beautiful album. And then they kind of took some time off. And then they came out with Science Fiction. So good. It's so good. And that actually is tied in with the death of my grandma because that album came out right around the same time that my grandma passed away. And we went out to San Bernardino to see them play. And we had VIP tickets and all that. And my girlfriend at the time, slept through the whole drive there and then the whole drive back. I drove the whole way. And I just had that album on repeat and was like, just having so much introspection, going through all of the things. Cause my grandma and I were very close. I was grandma's boy. Right. And, so it's very much tied into a lot of emotions that I have in my life. And yet also I think if you personally could like set aside the fact that like you are or were an edgy Queen goth boy. Like
as a Pop Tart. Or wait, as a Goth Tart. That's what I like.
You're a Goth Tart. Okay, yeah.
I was a Goth
If
Tart.
you could just stop being a D-bag for like 20 minutes and listen. No, I know. I know. If you could just take the Tom Fords off for like 20 minutes and just like listen to a couple of their songs, allow me to play you a couple of their songs. Like, I think you'd be like, I see where you love this, you know?
So I think I'd be more apt to read the lyrics to connect with it because, quite frankly, and not even at a sarcastic level, the genre of music, the way that it sounds, is something that I just genuinely don't care for.
Yeah.
In a very strong way.
Right. But you have no idea because you've never actually listened to them.
Well, emo and the whole punk emo scene, like that kind of music is absolutely offensive to my ears.
Right.
I might be able, you could show me, maybe you could give me a song that would be like, okay, I'll listen to that one. But I just, those genres, those two, and then those two put together, the whole thing is really, I missed it. Now, I am a huge fan of lyrics, and really good songs for me, can be ruined by really bad lyrics.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit, we were talking about them earlier. Great songs. I'm not a Fred Durst guy. I don't care for his lyrics at all. It's difficult for me to listen to those songs.
For the record, it was not a debate. We were very much in agreement that the band has a ton of talent, but Fred Durst kind of ruined a lot. I mean,
it's just some people, I would say lots of people really like that because they still sell out shows. So, to each their own. He just wasn't for me. I have, to my point about how I feel about the music that touches the inside of your soul, I have that with a band called Zayo. It is an absolutely aggressive, very aggressive hardcore band with a very specific vocal styling that pretty much no one likes except for me and like 17 other people today. Yeah. And that band, I've been listening to them since 98, something like that. And I mean, all the hardcore bands that are out now, Zayo's been doing this stuff since the 90s. And not even like kind of a little bit where it's like, oh, you can kind of hear the similarities. Like, no, this is still like, you guys are still just doing this. And I've had those same experiences with each one of their albums where every album touched a particular developmental part of my life that I have emotional ties to. And I could show people these songs and explain to them the intricacy of the songs, the depth of the lyrics and all these things. And they would still just hear the song and go, wow, that's effing terrible, Branden. How could you possibly like it this much? And I can't explain it to you. I just do. And I agree that hardcore with that kind of vocal, it's not good. I also really genuinely thoroughly enjoy classical music, Shostakovich, Chopin, all these different really, really detailed, intricate composers. I love that. And I also really love Zayo. These are two very different things. And to call both of them music in the same breath even makes me cringe. Yeah. But the reality is that I feel the same way about that band that you do about yours. I could play you a Zayo song, and I am quite sure that you would go, wow, that's awful. Why would anyone bother with it? Wouldn't hurt my feelings. Because again, I like what most would call bad music.
Yeah. So there was a band that I really loved the dynamic of the music versus the lyrics, right? And they had this song, it was a band called Boys Night Out, right? And they had this song that had this like super catchy, like melodic rhythm to it, right? And it's very, very pop unless you actually listen to the lyrics, right? And so production quality was terrible. Very much like a cakewalk recording. Awesome. It was rough.
Cakewalk and Cubase. Let's go.
Yeah. And so the melody to it goes. Right. So it sounds like a poppy song, right?
Sounds very poppy.
Right. And the lyrics to it are, the first time I saw a body bend that, oh, dude, we can't because we're going to get freaking struck. Look up the lyrics.
What's the name of the song again?
A Boys Night Out. Oh, what was the name of
Because
that
if you
song?
don't drop the name, the
A
comment
Torrid Love
section,
Affair? Or is that Poison the Well?
the comment section is going to rip you apart, just
Right.
like they did with
Look it up.
with that episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, God. The vitriol. All right, I'm going to look up the lyrics. You talk about things. Sorry.
You know, another band that actually kind of landed really hard for me, or very effectively on the emotional level, when I was in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, was Converge. And when they dropped You Fail Me, the production level, I'd never heard a hardcore album sound that good. And the songs from front to back, just phenomenal. Like, that's one of those albums for me that if I was, stranded on a desert island, like, which albums would you take? Well, Converge, You Fail Me would be one of them. Would I do The Wall or something? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, there'd be some classic albums in there for sure, classic rock albums, but for the most part, like, that one is an immediate automatic. Yeah, that's going to be in there. Deftones, White Pony. And Deftones, Chino, that's a wildly acquired taste. I mean, his voice, by all rights, should be offensive to everyone. But I don't know too many people, I mean, I say now, over the age of 30, like 30 to 50, that don't like the Deftones.
Right.
And
yeah, it was A Boys' Night Out, A Torrid Love Affair. Look it up. Sorry, go on.
So, Converge, You Fail. When that dropped, I remember the first time I heard the opening riff on that was one of those, it can sound like that.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing with Zao, with Liberate Te Ex Infernus. Albums like 1998. And half of those songs, at least half of them, are still wildly relevant today. If you were to go play them at a hardcore show, people would be like, that's the coolest thing I've ever. Like, oh, this has been around for 30 years, kids.
Right.
And that album, that was one of those, it can sound like that. Like this is a noise that you can make with instruments.
Right.
A guy's face can make that sound. Like, I had to learn how to do it. I was like, I have to know how to sound like that. That's incredible.
There's a band called was a band called the Broadways. They were like the Chicago punk band, and I loved their music so much. And it was two singers. They did a lot of call and response, and then one would take this song, the other would take this one. And they, if memory serves, they came from a band called Slapstick, and after they broke up, they formed two separate bands with the lead singers going their separate ways. One was the Lawrence Arms, and the other is the Honor System. But that was the first time, because I grew up, like, my dad was big classic rock guy, right? So I grew up listening to the classics of rock, right? And was like, my dad was big into music, and like, I remember taking a stab at writing lyrics, right? My dad was like, you can't do that because you put too many syllables in this line. It sounds like shit. And I was like, okay.
Thanks for the support.
Oh, dude, it was brutal. Like, this is my art, shut up. But it wasn't until I was like, well, what about when Don Henley did it in such and such? And he's all, good point. And he left me alone, right? But the structure of music was always ingrained in me, right? And all of a sudden I'm listening to this band where, notes be damned, this man is going to sing whatever the hell he wants and you're going to listen to it or don't, right? And they didn't care. And it was the first time I heard a singer try to hit a note, and I don't even want to do it because people immediately click off of the video, but he would, a note, and would sing it as long as he could, stop, take a breath, and make his way back into the note again just to hold it for another 5 seconds. And like, they're fantastic. I love that band, or were. And another band, and I'm sure I'll catch some hate for this, for anybody who's like, oh, soft, freaking, you listen to indie music, I'm on Instagram and I hate everything. But
it's okay to hate on indie music, kids.
Yeah, and look who you'll be. Anyway.
You could be you. You don't have to be me. You should be you.
take those fucking glasses off.
It's not happening. Well, before you go on that rant, because it reminded me of another hardcore band that I really liked was Norma Jean, and
it's okay. I wasn't finishing my thought.
No, I don't want you to.
Yeah,
I just want to support your experience of someone
Billie
who
Jean.
just makes Norma Jean.
Billie Jean.
Don't disrespect Norma. Sorry, could help it. But he would do similarly complete disrespect for the job of being the vocalist of this band, and so he would clear his throat into the microphone and cough all over it. And it wasn't like gratuitous, like I'm gonna cough on this microphone because it's gross. It's kind of childish. It's just I'm going to do the things that I do, and yes, there's a microphone involved, and it was always wildly entertaining. Just that there were just zero fucks given. I don't care. This is who I am. We recorded it. Hope you like it, kids. He went on to do another band. He actually quit that band.
Mm-hmm.
He said he quit that band because he didn't want to do music anymore. And then like the very next day, another album dropped from a band called The Chariot that he was now singing from. I don't know if that's exactly how the timeline worked, but there was a whole lot of like, oh, I'm leaving this. I'm not doing music. And then almost like what felt like the next day was like, oh, here's a band that really understands what the breakdown is. And if you like metal breakdowns and you like it when a band takes a breakdown and then they break it down again and again and again to the point to where you can't really slow it down anymore and halftime it anymore. Like it's just the best. The Chariot, just the best. Hopefully you forgot what you were going to say.
So I love this band. They're called Neutral Milk Hotel.
Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yep. They also have since broken up.
To the surprise of literally no one.
And yet there are people that would fight you.
Yeah, I know. They're the toughest.
All right, fair point. But they actually got back together for one tour. I got to go see them, and the experience was amazing. I left that concert just like, my God, I never knew that chaos could sound so beautiful and melodic and wonderful. And like they do things like the dude plays a saw, like a 5-foot stand-up saw, and he runs a bow across it. And I had no idea what was making that noise. To your point of like, I didn't know that you could make a noise like that through a microphone. And they have an album called Airplane Over the Sea that I listen to every winter. And I don't know why. It's my winter go-to album. And it like, yeah, it's fantastic. But brand new, fantastic band. Love them. I want to know what you hate so much about emo so that I can pick a song that you'll be like, okay, I see it. And they'll give me the Tucker Carlson shit of pretty much everything. Yeah, if I had to settle on one thing, it's everything.
No, I just genuinely don't really care for the poppy elements of emo. I kind of felt the same way about Killswitch Engage. It's like, okay, this is kind of a hardcore band, but it's not. They've got these hardcore verses and bridge sections, but then the chorus is just some wildly poppy thing, and I didn't really like that. I don't care for that. Just it does nothing for me. I'd rather listen to the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and I have no interest in ever listening to the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. They do nothing for me. But when it comes to emo and punk, like those things, there's not a single part of it that is appealing to me. I don't care for the drum beats that are used.
Yeah.
I don't care for, again, the poppy nature of it, and I just want to bounce around. Like I feel like it's not it just doesn't resonate with a single part of me the way that music is structured. And similarly, a lot like pop country also doesn't, but pop country is basically just rock today, and people love it. It just doesn't resonate for me. And it doesn't mean that I don't have any respect for it. I mean, here's a prime example. I don't care for Garth Brooks. I have complete respect for Garth Brooks. He's one of the biggest artists ever. I don't like U2. Kind of have to have respect for what they've accomplished. Don't really care for Metallica. Got to have a lot of respect for what they've accomplished, right? And so when I say I don't like something, it's not that I don't respect it if it's commanded the presence of an audience, a large audience in a large audience at scale for what it is, right? That's a smaller genre that didn't really explode the way that some other genres have. But if those are bands that are the forerunners or the front runners of those genres, I still have respect for them. I don't have to like the music to respect them.
Let me ask you this. What's your favorite band?
If I had to pick one, I'd probably just say Zayo, just keep it simple.
Okay.
But I always do like a rotating top 5. Picking one is so lame.
Every other question I ever ask of you, I don't care. Let's say...
Then why do you ask the question?
To make you feel like I care.
Oh, that's sweet.
I know. I'm a caring person that doesn't care.
Makes sense.
So if the Deftones, you like the Deftones,
I do.
Right? If the Deftones' first album sounded like Hanson Mbop, right? And then their next album didn't. Their next album was Around the Fur.
Uh-huh.
Like, would you like Around the Fur, or would you be like, no, they put out...
Oh, no, I would say I definitively would still like Around the Fur.
Okay.
Yeah, a good album's a good album. If a band's going to jump genres, it's a little iffy. I always like that. That raises an eyebrow. I mean, take Poison the Well, for example. This is a great hardcore band in the 90s. And then out of nowhere, they just changed genres. I mean, so you're making the point, like, would I still, if the Deftones had written Around the Fur, but before that they did an album similar to...
It was just super pop punk.
Yeah. Would I still be able to say out loud, oh, I still really like Around the Fur? And the answer is yes, right? I can do that. There was a time in my life I definitely could not do that. I'd be like, no, those guys are posers.
Yeah.
Today, it definitely raises an eyebrow. Like, why would a band jump a genre? Like, that's a questionable thing. But, I mean, even Incubus did it. They were a hardcore band well before they were the Incubus that everybody knows.
Right. And I'm not saying, like, sell out. I'm saying...
Not necessarily to sell out.
The entirety of the discography of Brand New, from album to album, is completely different. If I played you one of their albums and a different one of their albums, you would not think that they're the same band.
So I would say selfishly the same thing about Zayo, but definitively that's because I know the songs inside and out, and I've listened to them so many times and I love the genre that I hear what's different. But what's really different to someone who doesn't listen to the genre is going to hear the same thing. You could take a punk song, any punk song, they all sound the same to me. I don't care for the genre, so I don't spend time deep diving to hear the differences and the nuances. And just because this song has a piano in it doesn't mean that it's different than the other song, right? I can add an instrument to it. I can decide to sing the chorus instead of punk sing the chorus, the chorus, thesaurus.
Punkosaurus Rex,
Punkosaurus Rex, Punktodon. Maybe you're right. Would I prioritize the time to go through that catalog to have that experience? I wouldn't.
Well, the reason that I ask is because, again, every single one of their albums seems to be different, right? And I get what you're saying, the intricacies, and you're like, well, I know that the lead singer is going to take the note this way, but he didn't. Crazy, right? I'm not saying that intricate. I'm saying from an aesthetics level purely, their first album was very much like pop punky love ballads and stuff.
They matured as they recorded.
Very much.
Sure, these things happen.
But I'm going to play a couple songs after the podcast. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Hey.
I have family in from out of town. I'm not prioritizing music I don't care for over my family. Argue with me about that.
Your dad was here last week and he'll be here next week.
You're right.
No. Still no.
Still the answer is no.
Anyway.
There will be a time.
You never make the time anymore.
Man, I wish it was easier.
No, but yeah, I love that band. You know what?
I love that you love that band, that you have a band like that. Everybody needs to have bands like that in their lives.
Yeah.
Because when I'm feeling my crummiest, I listen to Zayo. When I'm feeling my most energetic, I'll listen to Zayo or Shostakovich.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so important to have music that speaks to you in that way. And I know people that just don't really care for music. They're like, oh yeah, music that speaks to me. And it'll just be some generic, I don't know, Shania Twain album. And it's like, hey, that's great. She's a really good vocalist. She has an amazing voice. And the production in the music is very good. But that's the thing that resonates for you. That to me is weird. But if that's what it is, then great, good for you. Have that. Everybody needs to have these. And hopefully people have these experiences with bands that are kind of triggered from music that their parents liked, right? I don't like the Moody Blues. My dad loves the Moody Blues. When the Moody Blues comes on, I listen to it because it's nostalgic.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but somehow it's a part of me, right? And because of that, I like other newer bands that were very melodically driven, right? And so, and I would say that like hardcore bands like Zayo, they have, of course, to me, because I know the songs and the chord progressions and how they move and whatnot, that they're very melodic. But if I played you 3 different Zayo songs, bro, these all sound exactly the same. And it's Slipknot's the same way. Like we can use that as an intermediary. They had an evolution from, you know, from their first album to their latest album 25 years later, or 30 years later, whatever it is now. But if you play Slipknot for just about anybody who's not a Slipknot fan, every song sounds the same. Occasionally there's a singing chorus, more so now in the latter half of their career. But the reality is that it can be very, I know I'm backtracking a bit and getting away from what I was just talking about, what we were just talking about. But the way that bands sound different and their songs sound different and the catalog sounds different to you because it's the thing that speaks to you, it's just not necessarily going to resonate the same way for someone else, but they'll have a band that does that for them. And that's what I think is really cool about music.
Branden, hit me with that 5th camera. Sorry.
It is so hot in here.
Felt we needed a break on
It
that.
is so hot in here.